I discovered my girlfriend was pregnant with my best friend's baby when she handed out matching dad t-shirts at our housewarming party. The cotton felt rough against my palms as I stared at the cheery yellow fabric, my world crumbling again in front of 20 guests who had no idea they were witnessing my second betrayal this year. The smell of fresh paint from our newly decorated living room mixed with the scent of Sarah's vanilla perfume as she beamed at both Marcus and me, holding up identical shirts like some twisted game show prize. "Surprise!" Sarah squealed, her voice cutting through the party chatter like a knife. "We're having a baby." The room erupts in cheers and congratulations. Marcus grins and pulls Sarah into a hug that lasts too long, his hands lingering on her waist. I stand there holding the yellow shirt, watching my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend I realize, celebrate with my best friend like I'm not even in the room. The fabric trembles in my grip as the truth crashes over me. "Both dads?" someone asks, confused. "Well," Sarah giggles nervously, "it's complicated, but we're all going to be one big happy family." The ceramic tiles under my feet feel cold through my shoes. 20 faces stare at us, waiting for explanation. Marcus clears his throat, his arm still around Sarah's shoulders. "Jake and I have always shared everything," he says, looking directly at me with those blue eyes I've trusted since college. "This is just the next step." I want to scream. I want to throw the shirt at his smug face and demand answers. Instead, I force a smile and excuse myself to the bathroom, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. The bathroom door clicks shut behind me, muffling the party noise. I lean against the cool porcelain sink, staring at my reflection in the mirror. 3 years with Sarah. 8 years of friendship with Marcus. All of it disintegrating in one moment. Through the thin walls, I hear them talking in the hallway. "Do you think he suspects?" Sarah's voice, worried now. "Nah, Jake's too trusting. Always has been." Marcus's laugh sounds different now. Predatory. "Besides, we've been careful. He has no idea we've been planning this for months." Planning this. For months. My knuckles whiten as I grip the sink edge. The vanilla scent from Sarah's perfume seeps under the door, making my stomach turn. "The apartment lease went through yesterday," Marcus continues. "Your name and mine, just like we discussed. His credit score helped, but once we're moved in..." "What about his savings account?" Sarah asks. "Already transferred most of it this morning for baby preparations. By the time he figures it out, we'll be settled in our new place." My phone sits on the bathroom counter, screen dark. I pick it up with steady hands and open the custom t-shirt website I bookmarked last week for our company's team-building event. The interface loads quickly, familiar and easy to navigate. I select a black shirt, size large. In the text box, I type 5 letters. SINGLE. Rush delivery. Extra fee for same-day printing. Done. The toilet paper roll rustles as I grab a sheet to wipe my face. My eyes are dry, but my hands shake slightly as I flush for show and turn on the faucet. Cold water splashes over my wrists, grounding me. When I return to the party, Sarah and Marcus are showing off ultrasound photos. The black and white images pass from hand to hand like sacred relics. Sarah glances at me nervously, but I smile and nod. "Congratulations," I say, my voice steady. "I'm happy for you both." Marcus slaps my back like we're still friends. "Thanks, man. I knew you'd understand." The grandfather clock in my living room chimes 9 times. In exactly 3 hours, my custom t-shirt will be ready for pickup. The next morning tastes like stale coffee and betrayal. Sarah's already gone to work, leaving behind the faint scent of her coconut shampoo on my pillowcase. I sit at our kitchen table, laptop open, scrolling through documents I never bothered to check before. Trust. What a joke. The apartment lease agreement glows on my screen. Marcus Henderson, co-signer. Application date 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before our housewarming party, 2 weeks before Sarah's surprise announcement. My coffee mug trembles in my grip. The ceramic feels hot against my palm, almost burning. Sarah's signature is right there next to his, looping and confident. They planned this while I was at work, while I was trusting them both like an idiot. I scroll down. Security deposit paid in full. First month's rent paid in full. Source of funds: joint savings account ending in 4,472. Our joint savings account. My laptop screen reflects my face as I navigate to our bank's website. Log in. Password. The page loads with painful slowness, each second stretching like hours. The familiar blue interface appears, clean and corporate. Available balance, $347.83. $347. Down from $15,000 just yesterday morning. The transaction history unfolds like a nightmare. Baby furniture, $2,400. Nursery essentials, $1,800. Medical expenses, $900. Moving costs, $3,200. Moving costs. They were planning to move out together and leave me with nothing. The kitchen chair creaks as I lean back. Sunlight streams through my window, casting long shadows across the hardwood floor. In 12 hours, they'll be back here, probably expecting me to help them pack. I pick up my phone and dial the landlord's number from our lease. Margaret Chen, property manager for Riverside Apartments. She answers on the third ring. Miss Chen, this is Jake Morrison from Unit 14B. I'm calling about some concerns regarding unauthorized changes to our lease agreement. Her voice sharpens with professional interest. What kind of changes? It appears someone has added a co-signer without my knowledge or consent. As the primary tenant, I'm concerned about potential fraud. I keep my tone neutral, concerned citizen reporting suspicious activity. I see. Can you email me the documentation you found? This is definitely something we need to investigate immediately. Absolutely. I'll send everything over within the hour. The email writes itself. Screenshots of bank transactions, copy of the lease modification, timeline of events. All very factual, very concerned, very innocent. Send? My phone buzzes with a delivery notification. The t-shirt is ready. That evening, Marcus arrives at 6:30 sharp. Chinese takeout in hand. He lets himself in with the spare key I gave him last year, calling out like he owns the place. Jake, got your favorite beef and broccoli. Sarah appears from the bedroom, already changed into her pajamas. The cotton fabric clings to her small bump, barely visible but definitely there. She kisses Marcus hello, right in front of me, like I'm invisible. How are you feeling, babe? Marcus asks, rubbing her stomach possessively. Better. The morning sickness is finally gone. She glances at me nervously. Jake, we need to talk about living arrangements. I sit down at the table, opening my takeout container. The smell of soy sauce and garlic fills the room. What about them? Well, with the baby coming, Marcus and I think it would be better if we found our own place. You understand, right? Marcus nods enthusiastically. Nothing personal, man. We just need space to start our family. The beef tastes like cardboard in my mouth. I chew slowly, watching their faces. Sarah fidgets with her chopsticks. Marcus keeps glancing at his phone. Makes sense, I say finally. When were you thinking of moving? Actually, Sarah says, we already found a place. We can move out this weekend if that works for you. Marcus's phone buzzes. He checks it and his face goes pale. Everything okay? Sarah asks. Marcus stares at his screen, reading something that makes his jaw clench. There's an issue with the new apartment. Another buzz, then another. Marcus stands up abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor. "I need to make some calls," he mutters, heading toward the balcony. Through the sliding glass door, I watch him pace and gesture wildly. His voice carries faintly through the glass, angry and panicked. Sarah looks confused, her chopsticks frozen halfway to her mouth. "What do you think that's about?" she asks. I shrug, taking another bite. Probably nothing serious. Marcus bursts back inside, his face flushed. "We need to go, now." "What's wrong?" Sarah demands. "The landlord called. There's some kind of investigation about the lease. They want to meet with us tomorrow morning." Sarah's face drains of color. She looks at me, then back at Marcus. "Investigation?" "Someone reported suspicious activity, potential fraud." Marcus grabs his jacket, movements sharp and agitated. "They're threatening to void the lease." The fortune cookie on my plate sits unopened. I crack it slowly, reading the slip of paper inside. "Patience is a virtue that leads to great rewards." "That's terrible," I say, wadding up the fortune. "I hope you get it sorted out." Sarah stands unsteadily, her hand pressed to her stomach. "Jake, You should go," I interrupt gently. "Handle your emergency. We can talk about moving arrangements later." They leave in a rush, Sarah shooting worried glances back at me as Marcus hurries her out the door. The apartment feels peaceful without them. Just the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic. I finish my dinner in silence, then pull out my laptop to check my emails. 3 messages from Margaret Chen. The investigation is moving fast. 2 days later, I'm sitting across the street from Chez Laurent, the expensive French restaurant where Marcus took Sarah for their "let's discuss our future" dinner. The patio seating gives me a perfect view through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Marcus looks agitated, his usually perfect hair disheveled. Sarah sits across from him, clutching a tissue. Even from this distance, I can see the tension in their body language. The server brings their wine, well, sparkling cider for Sarah, and Marcus immediately pulls out his phone. His face goes from stressed to devastated in seconds. Sarah leans forward, asking questions he clearly doesn't want to answer. Marcus shows her the screen. Sarah's mouth falls open. She covers her face with her hands, shoulders shaking. Eviction notice, effective immediately. The investigation found substantial evidence of fraudulent lease modification and financial misrepresentation. Marcus stands up abruptly, knocking over his chair. Other diners turn to stare as he storms toward the exit. Sarah hurries after him, still clutching her tissue. I sip my coffee and watch them argue on the sidewalk. Sarah's gestures are pleading, desperate. Marcus shakes his head and walks away, leaving her standing alone under the restaurant's awning. My phone buzzes with a text from Sarah. "Can we talk, please?" I finish my coffee before responding. "Of course, I'm here for you." 20 minutes later, she slides into the passenger seat of my car, eyes red and puffy. The leather creaks as she settles in, bringing the scent of her familiar perfume mixed with tears. "It's all falling apart," she whispers. "What happened?" I ask, keeping my voice gentle and concerned. "The apartment, they canceled our lease. Something about fraud and unauthorized changes." She wipes her nose with a fresh tissue. "Marcus is freaking out. He says someone set us up." I reach over and squeeze her hand. "I'm sorry. That sounds really stressful." "Jake, I need to tell you something." She takes a shaky breath. "Marcus and we've been seeing each other for a while. The baby, it might be his." Might be. Still lying, even now. "How long?" I ask. 6 months. Her voice breaks. "I'm so sorry. I never meant for it to happen this way." 6 months. Since before my promotion at work. Since before I suggested we get a place together. The whole time I was planning our future, she was planning her escape. Do you love him? I ask. She nods, tears flowing freely now. But I love you too. We could work this out, the three of us. Like Marcus said, we've always shared everything. The car feels smaller suddenly, filled with the weight of her betrayal. I start the engine, letting the rumble fill the silence. Where do you want me to drop you off? She stares at me, confused. That's it? You're not going to fight for us? What's to fight for, Sarah? I keep my voice steady, emotionless. You made your choice 6 months ago. I drive her to Marcus's apartment downtown. She gets out slowly, like she's hoping I'll change my mind. Through the rearview mirror, I watch her climb the steps to his building, her shoulders bent with defeat. My phone is already in my hand as I pull away from the curb. Time to make another call. The law office smells like leather and old money. Mr. Patterson's secretary offers me coffee while I wait, her smile professional and warm. The ceramic mug feels solid in my hands, grounding me as I prepare for what comes next. Mr. Morrison? Mr. Patterson emerges from his office, a distinguished man in his 60s with sharp eyes and an expensive suit. I'm sorry for your loss. Your grandmother spoke of you often. We shake hands, his grip firm and confident. He leads me into his office, where floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city. The view is impressive, but nothing compared to what he's about to tell me. I know this comes as a surprise, he begins, settling behind his mahogany desk. Your grandmother was quite private about her investments. The papers he slides across the desk flutter slightly in the air conditioning. Property deeds, investment portfolios, bank statements with numbers that make my head spin. $2.3 million in total assets, he continues, including the commercial building downtown on 5th Street, 3 rental properties, and a diverse stock portfolio. My coffee cup trembles in my grip. The building on 5th Street. I know that building. Marcus works on the 7th floor for Henderson and Associates. Sarah's favorite boutique, Luna, occupies the ground floor retail space. The transition should be smooth, Mr. Patterson explains. Your grandmother set everything up to avoid probate. You'll have full control within the week. I sign where he indicates, my signature steady despite the earthquake happening inside my chest. Everything changes in this moment. Everything. There's one more thing, he adds, reaching into another folder. Your mobile application, TaskFlow Pro? The buyer's offer came through this morning. Another set of papers. Another life-changing number. My little productivity app that I built in my spare time, the one I never thought was worth much, has just been purchased by Megatech Solutions for $800,000. They want to keep you on as lead developer, Mr. Patterson continues. The contract includes a substantial signing bonus and equity options. I walk out of that office a millionaire. The afternoon sun feels different on my face, warmer somehow. The city looks smaller from this new perspective, manageable. My first stop is the property management company that handles 5th Street. My building, my tenants, my rules. The leasing agent, a nervous young man named Kevin, pulls up the tenant records on his computer. Henderson and Associates, Suite 702. Rent, $8,000 per month. Lease expires next month. I'd like to review the lease renewal terms, I tell him. Of course, Mr. Morrison. Are you thinking of raising the rent? I'm thinking of renovating. Extensive renovations. The whole building, actually. Kevin's eyes light up. Property improvements mean higher rents, bigger commissions. That sounds exciting. When were you thinking of starting? Immediately after current leases expire. On the ground floor, Luna Boutique sparkles with expensive clothes and Sarah's dreams. The owner, a stylish woman in her 40s, greets me warmly when I walk in. Are you shopping for someone special? She asks. Actually, I'm your new landlord. I wanted to introduce myself. Her smile falters slightly. Oh, is everything all right with the lease? For now, but I'm planning some major renovations. Nothing to worry about immediately, but you might want to start thinking about temporary locations. I leave her with my business card and a polite smile. The afternoon stretches ahead of me, full of possibilities and phone calls to make. The party planning takes exactly 3 days. I invite everyone, Sarah's family, Marcus's co-workers, our mutual friends, even some people from my new job. The theme is new beginnings, and the irony tastes sweet on my tongue. Sarah and Marcus show up together, which doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is how desperate they both look. Marcus's usual confidence has cracked, revealing something anxious underneath. Sarah keeps glancing around like she's expecting an ambush. "Thanks for inviting us," Sarah says, her voice carefully neutral. "I wasn't sure." "Of course I'd invite you," I reply, accepting the bottle of wine she brought. "We're all adults here." The apartment fills up quickly. Sarah's parents corner me near the kitchen, their faces concerned and parental. Her mother, Mrs. Hendricks, touches my arm gently. "Jake, dear, Sarah told us about the situation. We want you to know that we still consider you family." Family. The word sits heavy in my chest. These people who raised the woman who betrayed me, who taught her that love was something you could share and divide and trade like a commodity. "That's very kind," I tell them. "Family is important." Marcus hovers near the wine bar, networking with my co-workers like nothing has changed. He's telling them about his real estate ventures, his voice loud and confident. Several of his Henderson and Associates colleagues nod along, probably hoping to get in on his next deal. If only they knew. The projector setup takes longer than expected, but my neighbor Dave helps me mount it properly. The white wall opposite my couch makes a perfect screen. I've spent hours on this presentation, each slide carefully crafted for maximum impact. "Looks professional," Dave comments, adjusting the focus. "What's the occasion?" "Just sharing some memories," I say, before I move on to the next chapter. At 8:30, I call for everyone's attention. The room quiets gradually, conversations dying as people turn toward me. Sarah and Marcus stand together near the window, her hand resting on his arm. "Thank you all for coming," I begin, my voice carrying easily through the room. "These past few months have been educational. I've learned so much about trust, friendship, and family." Nods and smiles around the room. Sarah shifts nervously. "I thought it would be fun to share some memories before I start my new life." The first slide appears on the wall. A photo of Marcus and me from college, arms around each other's shoulders, grinning at the camera. Awes and nostalgic chuckles ripple through the audience. "Marcus and I have been friends for 8 years, I continue. "We've shared everything. Apartments, girlfriends, dreams for the future." Marcus's smile looks strained now. Sarah has gone pale. The slides continue. Photos of Sarah and me on vacation. Marcus at my birthday party last year. Happy couples, trusted friends, shared memories. Then the tone shifts. But as I was preparing to move forward, I discovered some interesting information about my closest relationships. The next slide shows a bank statement. Our joint account, with $15,000 highlighted in yellow. The following slide shows the same account at $347.83. Murmurs start around the room. Sarah's mother gasps softly. "I learned that trust is a precious thing," I continue, clicking to the next slide, "and that some people view it as an opportunity rather than a responsibility." The apartment lease appears on the wall, Marcus's signature clearly visible as co-signer. Date, 2 weeks before the pregnancy announcement. Marcus steps forward. "Jake, we can explain—" Please let me finish." More slides. Text messages between Sarah and Marcus that I recovered from our shared cloud storage. Photos of them together from dates I thought she was working late. Financial records showing their secret apartment search. The room has gone dead silent. Sarah's father looks like he wants to punch someone. Marcus's colleagues are staring at him with disgust. I also learned about the true timeline of certain relationships. Ultrasound photos appear on the wall, but these ones are dated. 7 months along, not the 6 Sarah claimed at the party. The math is simple and devastating. Sarah starts crying. Marcus runs his hand through his hair, his face red with embarrassment and anger. "You had no right to go through our private messages," he says, his voice shaky. "Our messages?" I click to the next slide. "These were sent from my girlfriend's phone, using my shared data plan while planning to spend my money on your future together." The final slides are newspaper clippings and legal notices, eviction proceedings against Marcus Henderson and Sarah Hendricks, employment termination notice for Marcus from Henderson and Associates, investigation into fraudulent lease applications. "Some people believe that actions don't have consequences," I say, my voice steady and calm. I've learned that's not true. I walk to the closet and pull out a shirt. Black cotton, crisp and new. White letters spell out "single" across the chest. Which brings me to tonight's real purpose. I pull the shirt over my head, right there in front of everyone. The fabric settles against my skin, comfortable and confident. I'm moving forward, alone, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I pull 3 envelopes from my pocket. "Marcus, this is notice that your lease at 425 5th Street will not be renewed. Effective next month, Henderson and Associates will need to find new office space." Marcus's face goes from red to white. His colleagues stare at him in shock. "Sarah, this is notice that Luna Boutique's lease is also under review. Renovations begin in 6 weeks. Sarah's hands shake as she takes the envelope. "Jake, you can't—" "And this," I hold up the 3rd envelope, "is my resignation from my old job. I'm starting my own company. New life, new opportunities." The room buzzes with shocked whispers. Sarah's mother is crying now. Marcus looks like he's going to be sick. "I want to thank you both," I continue, "for teaching me that the only person I can truly trust is myself. It's been a valuable lesson." Mrs. Hendricks approaches me, her face streaked with tears. "Jake, please. Sarah made a mistake, but the baby—" The baby that was conceived while she was cheating on me? The baby that's definitely not mine based on the dates? I keep my voice gentle, but firm. That baby deserves parents who are honest with each other and with the world. I'm not the right person for that job. I look around the room one final time. Thank you all for coming. Please enjoy the food and drinks. I'll be in my room if anyone needs to say goodbye properly. The silence follows me down the hallway. Through my bedroom door, I can hear the uncomfortable murmur of guests trying to figure out what to do next. Some leave immediately, others stay to whisper and process what they've witnessed. I sit on my bed and listen to my old life disintegrate in the living room. Tomorrow, I start building something new. The knock comes at 11 p.m., long after the last guest has left. I'm lying in bed, reading property management books on my tablet, when I hear her tentative tap on the front door. Sarah stands in the hallway, her eyes red and swollen. She's changed clothes since the party, now wearing the soft blue dress I bought her for our anniversary. The symbolism is heavy-handed, but I appreciate the effort. "Can I come in?" she asks. I step aside, letting her into the apartment that still smells faintly of party food and awkward conversations. She settles on the couch where she announced her pregnancy 3 weeks ago, her hands folded over her small bump. "I know you hate me," she begins. "I don't hate you. The words surprise me with their honesty. I don't feel anything about you at all anymore. She flinches like I have slapped her. Jake, please! I know I made mistakes, but we can fix this. The baby, there's a chance it could be yours. No, there isn't. I remain standing, looking down at her. The ultrasound dates don't lie, Sarah. You were already pregnant when we had sex that last time. Her composure cracks. But we could raise it together, you, me, and Marcus, like a real family. A real family. I taste the words, finding them bitter. You mean like the real family where you and Marcus planned to steal my money and abandon me? That kind of real family? We never meant to hurt you. You just meant to use me. She stands up abruptly, moving closer. The vanilla perfume is the same, but now it makes my stomach turn. I love you, Jake. I love both of you. Why does that have to be wrong? Because love isn't supposed to involve lying and stealing and manipulation. I step back, maintaining distance. What you did isn't love. It's selfishness dressed up in pretty words. But the baby needs a father, a stable home. You could give us that. The baby has a father. Marcus. You chose him, remember? Her face crumples. She sinks back onto the couch, sobbing into her hands. He left me, Jake. After your party tonight, he said he couldn't handle the pressure. He doesn't want the responsibility. Of course he did. Marcus was always good at backing down when things got complicated. The same pattern that ended his last 3 relationships. The same pattern that cost him his previous job. I'm sorry to hear that, I say, and I mean it. Not for her situation, but for the baby who will grow up knowing their father is a coward. Please, she whispers. I don't have anywhere else to go. My parents, they're so disappointed, and I can't afford a place on my own with the baby coming. There are resources available. Social services, family support programs. You'll figure it out. She looks up at me with desperate eyes. You're really going to abandon us? After everything we meant to each other? You abandoned us the moment you slept with my best friend behind my back. My voice stays calm, factual. I'm just acknowledging reality. She stays on the couch for another hour, alternating between tears and anger and desperate bargaining. She offers me partial custody of a child that isn't mine. She promises to cut Marcus out completely if I'll take her back. She even suggests we could move away, start fresh somewhere new. Each offer reveals more of her fundamental misunderstanding. She still thinks this is about jealousy or hurt feelings, something that can be negotiated away with the right incentive. She doesn't understand that trust, once broken completely, doesn't heal with apologies and promises. When she finally leaves, she turns back at the door. I hope you're happy, she says, venom creeping into her voice. I hope your money and your revenge make you feel better about being alone. They do, I tell her honestly. They really do. 3 days later, Marcus calls. I'm in my new office downtown, reviewing contractor bids for the 5th Street renovations, when his name appears on my phone screen. We need to talk, he says without preamble. No, we don't. Jake, come on. 8 years of friendship has to count for something. It did count for something. It counted for trust, which you violated. It counted for loyalty, which you betrayed. What else would you like it to count for? There's a long pause. Through my office window, I can see construction workers setting up scaffolding on the building across the street. Progress in real time. I need a job reference, Marcus says finally. Henderson fired me after your little slideshow. I can't get hired anywhere without a reference from my previous employer. And they won't give you one because of the fraud investigation. You know I didn't do anything illegal. Actually, I don't know that. Unauthorized use of someone else's credit score for financial gain sounds pretty illegal to me. But I'm not a lawyer. Damn it, Jake. His composure finally cracks. I made a mistake, okay? I fell in love with Sarah, and we handled it wrong. But you're destroying my entire life over this. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just refusing to help you rebuild after you tried to destroy mine. She's pregnant with my kid. I need to be able to provide for them. Then you should have thought about that before you decided to steal from me. Another long pause. In the background, I can hear traffic noise. He's probably calling from his car, parked outside another job interview that's about to go badly. What do you want? He asks finally. Money? An apology? What will it take for you to give me a reference? Nothing. Come on, man, everyone has a price. My price for helping you is trust and loyalty. You already spent that currency. Jake, please, I'm begging you. The desperation in his voice should make me feel something. Pity, maybe, or satisfaction. Instead, I feel nothing but mild irritation at having my morning interrupted. I have a meeting in 5 minutes, I tell him. I need to go. Wait. I hang up and turn off my phone. Through the window, the construction workers are making steady progress, building something new where something old used to be. The meeting is with my new business partner, Elena Rodriguez. She's brilliant, honest, and has no interest in complicating our professional relationship with personal drama. We're developing a project management platform that will revolutionize how small businesses handle their workflows. You look peaceful, she observes when I join her in the conference room. I feel peaceful, I admit, for the first time in months. Good. Peace is underrated in business. It lets you focus on what actually matters. We spend the next 2 hours discussing algorithms and user interfaces and market penetration strategies. Real problems with real solutions. Work that matters, with people who can be trusted. When I check my phone later, there are 17 missed calls from Marcus and 6 voicemails I don't bother listening to. I delete them all and add his number to my blocked contacts list. Some bridges are meant to be burned. 6 months later, I'm sipping coffee on the balcony of my downtown penthouse when I see them. Sarah pushes a stroller down the sidewalk below, moving slowly in the summer heat. Even from 30 floors up, I can see her exhaustion in the way she carries herself. Marcus isn't with her. The baby is probably 3 months old now, based on the timeline. A person who exists because of their betrayal, but didn't choose to be part of it. I wonder sometimes if the child will grow up hearing stories about the man who could have been their stepfather, the one who chose money over family. I hope not. Children deserve better than fairy tales built on lies. My phone buzzes with a text from Elena. Coffee meeting moved to 2 p.m. New investor wants to discuss terms. Our company is thriving. TaskFlow Pro's success opened doors we never expected, and the team we've built is exceptional. Honest people doing good work for fair compensation. Simple concepts that feel revolutionary after the chaos of the past year. The penthouse smells like fresh flowers from the arrangement my housekeeper brings every week. Yellow roses today, bright and clean. No vanilla perfume, no masculine cologne from unwelcome visitors. Just space that belongs to me, filled with things I chose. Sarah disappears around the corner, heading toward the park. I don't wonder where she's going or how she's managing financially. Those aren't my problems to solve anymore. Instead, I think about tonight's dinner with Rebecca, the architect I met at a gallery opening last month. She's intelligent, funny, and refreshingly direct about her intentions. When she talks about her ex-husband, it's with the calm acceptance of someone who learned from her mistakes without being consumed by them. I don't believe in staying friends with exes, she told me over our first coffee. Clean breaks are healthier for everyone involved. I liked her immediately. Tonight, we're going to discuss her proposal to design a new office space for my company. Mixing business with pleasure might be risky, But Rebecca seems like the kind of person who understands boundaries. She also seems like the kind of person who wouldn't sleep with my business partner while planning to steal my money. The bar is admittedly low, but I'm optimistic. My coffee tastes perfect. Colombian dark roast, no sugar, no complications. The city spreads out below me, full of possibilities and new beginnings. Somewhere down there, Sarah is struggling with the consequences of her choices. Somewhere else, Marcus is probably still looking for someone to blame for his situation. But up here, 30 floors above the drama, I'm building something better. Something honest. Something that belongs entirely to me. The yellow roses catch the afternoon light, casting gentle shadows across my dining table. In 2 hours, I'll get dressed for dinner with Rebecca. Tomorrow, I'll review the quarterly projections with Elena. Next week, we'll close the deal with our biggest client yet. The future feels clean and bright, like fresh cotton and morning coffee and flowers that nobody bought to manipulate me. For the first time in longer than I can remember, I'm genuinely excited to see what comes next.